Are you planning to move into New York because you think your state is too expensive to live in? Wait till you hear about paying hundreds of dollars for a parking spot each month. Manhattan is the most densely populated and geographically smallest of the 5 boroughs of New York City. With a population of 1.632 million and a running traffic of almost 717,000 vehicles each day, the area has run into a parking problem. This social-economic hub initiates a fierce competition among Uber drivers, delivery trucks, and pedestrians for the parking spaces every day. So one can have this anxiety-inducing experience if they aren't traveling very late at night or early in the morning. So, how to get a parking space in Manhattan? Well, you can go into a parking lot, and that may charge you $40 to $60 depending on how long you want that spot for. But in order to do that effectively, those parking spaces have to get reserved. So how do you go about reserving a spot for yourself? You can get a spot through websites such as Spot Hero or Parking Panda. You'll have to choose from the aforementioned prices and time periods. It could be a walk of a mile or even more than that from one's ultimate destination, but you can save 40 to 50% on parking. There are times when you can pay to park on the streets and for free too at some other times. nyc.signs.net, the official New York City website, allows you to understand the parking regulations for each side of any given street, the hours one can park, the circumstances, and whether there's a fee to park or not. The parking machines would allow people to purchase their desired amount of time through credit cards or coins. Now, you have to be very careful when you read the signs and make sure you understand them properly. You wouldn't want to see your car towed or ticketed heavily, right? Although, Sunday could be a blessed day for parkers, since the metered parking is mostly waived. But hold on, have you ever heard of buying a parking spot? Some people are still too COVID nervous to use public transport and prefer to have their own car. Unfortunately, this has made parking spots a terribly expensive commodity. Parking spots are sold for exorbitant rates that may be as high as $350,000. According to CNBC, COVID has raised the demand for such parking spots since the number of registered vehicles has increased drastically in recent years. They call it parking space condo, which aren't only sold but also rented out. In Manhattan, the rent could be up to $600 a month, provided that the owner of that parking spot does not have to live in the same building or Manhattan or even in the state of New York. In addition to all that, there are signs on the road indicating that, on certain hours of a certain day, once every week, the streets are cleaned. Before that window of time, the cars must be moved from that place so the streets could be swept. Cars aren't allowed to return until the process is over. In fact, timing it wrong can result in a ticket, boot, or even a tow. Furthermore, when parking is prohibited on one side of the street, drivers can double park on the other side. Some drivers choose to leave their cars and return just before the prohibition ends legally, while others prefer to wait in their cars. And that's it for today's video. See you next time!